The guy that everyone was
Yeah.
thirsting of, but
Yeah.
he's dead now. So like, let's respect the dead.
No, he's what?
I'm pretty sure.
No, he's not, you idiot. Miles Teller is alive.
Do you think cows taste better if they die happy?
Here's the thing. Every now and then, I'll see our clips, and I'll see, like, how mean I am to you. And I'm like, man, like, maybe I'm too mean to Sophia. And I'll conveniently forget all the clips where you're being a fucking bitch to me. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hits Podcast. My name is Oscar. This is my sister, Sophia. This is our podcast. It's called the Hits Podcast, HTS. No, I need to scoot over a little bit. I'm not set up properly. Sophia, are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready, Oscar?
No.
You dumb bitch, get ready. Okay, I made potato chips, but I kind of fucked them up. So I have 3 batches of potato chips to show you. Aren't you ready?
No.
So this was my first batch. This is how it looks.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Try it. You're going to like them, but them is not good. That's too close.
If I eat just one, because I already tried some. If I eat just one and done, one and done, it's fine. But when I keep eating them, like that burnt kind of accumulates. You get me?
So they're trash.
And then
Who the fuck just eats one
I
chip?
noticed after several batches, a couple batches, some, because I cooked these in the air fryer. Oh yeah, I should probably say that. I made homemade chips in the air fryer.
She's going to be a
Because I'm trying to be
farmer.
healthy or whatever. I was going to keep saying that. Fuck that guy. Anyways, I made them in the air fryer, right? But I noticed some of them were somehow getting out of the little basket and slipping under. So every time I would shake them or like move them, yeah, I don't know how it happened. So my other batch,
Jesus, Sophia.
I couldn't tell because it blended with the air fryer and then this is when I noticed. I set off the fire alarm in my thing. It was like fire. And I was like, where? So I opened the door and then I was like, fuck, where's this stupid little fire alarm like thing on the ceiling, because like I'm not gonna do it. And then I got one of like my cooking sheet pans and then I was just there like just trying to air it out. Thankfully, it's not so cold anymore to where like I hate life, and it's fine with the door open. So right now my sliding door is just open, trying to vent out some of that smoke still. So there's that. And now for the latest batch, here, I'm gonna look for a good one. These came out like mixed. Okay, so like some of them came out like this, right? And then some of them, like, I don't know
Why?
Yeah. Like, and
Were they not dry
from,
or
like,
what?
all the same. Huh?
I would think because they weren't dry, like fully
I
dry.
dried them. No, Oscar, you watched me dry them each
I
by hand.
didn't have any faith in how good of a job you were doing.
Rude. Second of all, this is how it happened, and they were all from the same batch. But
you didn't think to put it for less time or turn it down or some shit?
I did. These were less time and turned down versus these. But I know you might be thinking, Sophia, they look the same. But no, they like taste the same. This one, I don't know if you can appreciate it as much on camera. Here, I'm showing the camera. Look. Where's Oscar's camera? There. I don't know how much you can appreciate it through FaceTime, but in real persons, I promise it looks different. And I could taste it. And I can taste it. It'll taste less burnt. Like I can eat more in a row. You get me? But they're crunchy as fuck. Like, look. I was gonna hate this episode.
Are you gonna keep eating them?
Yeah. The good batch, at least. Don't worry, it's not a lot.
Nah, how annoying,
Most of them came out burnt.
Anywho. Well, there's that. Sophia has moved out on her own right, and since then, she's decided to make everything from scratch. I'm already claiming she's gonna be a farmer because she lives out in the countryside in Minnesota now. And she like makes butter from scratch, and she makes sourdough bread, and she makes chips from scratch.
I'm
And
attempting to make chips from scratch.
I asked her how much chickens cost earlier, and she was like
I don't know.
$63.99.
No,
And
I
then like
fucking didn't. No, he
chick-
asked me how much chickens cost, and then I was just like, I don't know. Like, and then I was like, what kind of chicken? And he was
she
like,
was
what the
being
fuck do you mean?
stupid.
What
She's
kind of
like,
chicken?
how much do chickens cost? And she was like, well, like chicken breasts, chicken thighs. And I was like, did I say chicken breasts or chicken thighs? And she was like, no, but like you said chicken.
I
And I was like,
thought
how much do chickens cost? There's only one thing that is chickens, and
no, but
that's
then
chickens.
I thought because I did say, but like chicken breasts, chicken thighs, and what I was trying to ask, which I didn't ask great, I'll admit that I didn't word it properly or whatever. Was like, are you talking about a dead chicken or an alive chicken? And that's why I said like chicken breast, chicken thighs, because I was like, that's very clearly dead and in the stores. But like, I thought you meant like a whole chicken, a whole dead chicken in the store. You know what I
Even
mean?
then, that'd be how much does a chicken cost? Which that
Nah.
could be taken as the dead skinned chicken in the store or an actual singular chicken. But if I say how much do chickens cost, there's only one thing that is chickens, and that's plural
Nah.
chickens. You know what I mean?
Fake news. Anyways,
Anyways,
and then I was just like, I don't know. I guess like, and then we established, and by we I mean Oscar established, he meant like a live bok chicken, still flapping its wings, trying to fly, failing. Um, and I was like, $5. And I'm like, just kidding. I don't know. And then I started trying to think. I was like, maybe like $100 or less. I don't know. I don't know how much chickens cost. And then he was like, it's not a joke. It was a question. And I was like, I'm confused. And then I realized he was trying to make a joke. That
I
I'm
said
gonna be
it's
a
not a
farmer.
question.
It's not a question. Whatever.
I'm like, I was like, this isn't an actual question. I'm looking for you to answer. Like,
how was I supposed to know? Anyways, I was unsure. So if you know how much chickens cost, let us know.
this is slowly gonna become a farming podcast because like you're gonna become more and more of a farmer, and I'm gonna keep having farmer questions about like, do wild cows exist? How much do chickens cost? How do you fucking grow this
Do you
or
think
that?
wild cows? Yeah. Do you think wild cows taste better than like
Oh yeah,
cows in
yeah, for sure. Because they're just wild. They're just eating grass and shit, like all the shit that they're supposed to, and they have no like hormones and like that.
Do you think cows taste better if they die happy? Like if they don't know they're gonna die?
That's like
I think it's a valid question.
I think it is a valid question, but I think you're dead serious. And that's where my problem lies. Like,
oh, just kidding.
No, because
I'm just trying to figure out if I keep my chickens happy or not.
If you're dead serious, then that begs more questions. Like, define happiness for the cow. Is it just like a neurotransmitter thing? And if that's the case,
not fear of death.
And if that's the case, you have to also ask the question of whether or not cows know they're gonna die when they're being raised on a farm. You know what I mean? And does it matter if they're only scared right before they die? Because I think they're gonna be scared of dying right before they die, no matter where they were raised, and no matter if they knew they were gonna die their whole lives.
Nah, but I feel like cows raised on farms for slaughter are depressed because like the conditions aren't good.
Oh,
depending
well, those,
on
yeah,
the
no,
farms.
it depends.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends on the farm because like there's somewhere like they're just kind of like just constantly like stacked up and crowded and shit. And I'm like, them motherfuckers must be stressed out. But in those conditions, those farms, those are the same types of ones that'll like just be shooting them full of hormones and having them grow as fast as possible and then just fucking cutting them up then and there. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much everything is efficiency and this and that, and they don't really care about the rest. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Anyways, hopefully they never find the wild cows. Live your life.
I want to see some wild cows.
I did have a topic and I remember I wrote it down, but I didn't transfer it to my tablet, which means if I want to see it, we're going to have to pause the video and start again.
How do you not bro, just doesn't it automatically share to your tablet through the iCloud shit on the notes?
No. I think
you're
I
such
don't
a
have
stupid
the space
asshole.
for that. Hold on, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no. Oh. Ha 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 ha. It transferred.
I knew
cool.
You were dumb.
Sometimes sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. Okay. I have a statement to make. whether it's controversial or not.
Oh fuck.
I don't know. No, it's not that serious, but it is. Um, mustaches. We're gonna talk about them. I think if you have a mustache with a goatee, you're fine. If you have a mustache with a beard, you're
Oh,
fine.
you think solo mustaches are?
Solo mustaches? I have never looked at anyone with just a mustache and was like, you, you're the one, you're so fine. No, you know what I mean? I'll look at them and I'll be like, mm. You know, I feel like my brain goes to two places when I see mustaches, right? No, three places. There's only you. There's three. There's three categories that you're put into my brain when I see you with a mustache. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're either here. I'm trying to decide which order to go. We'll start. We'll start this way. You're like it's like a real thin one and like barely
Wispy,
kind of
like bullshit.
wispy.
Why don't you shave
Yeah,
that
and I'm
mustache?
like, bro, just yeah, and that you're either like a pubescent boy or you look like a pubescent boy because you can't grow facial hair. And I'm like, just stop. Like, what is that? It looks gross. It looks like there's just like
Wholeheartedly agree. Those should not exist.
I'm like, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
Now, for the full fucking bush on your upper lip, mustaches, right?
Caterpillar.
Yeah, that one. I feel like depending on your age, it goes one of two ways. All right. If you're older, like senor, like
Tom
grandpa
Selleck. Yeah.
kind of age,
Yeah.
I think grandpa. And I think because our tata
Yeah.
had one,
Yeah.
in my head, I'm just like, you're a grandpa, right?
Yeah.
Even if you got no kids that had kids, you know?
Yeah.
You're just a grandpa.
Yeah.
In my brain.
Bro, you said even if you got no kids that got no kids, and that's quite literally what stops you from being a grandpa. But in my head, it was just like a bullshit. Like even if you don't have kids, would have sufficed. But no, technically, you're still not a grandpa unless them motherfuckers have kids too. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that was funny.
Anyways,
Even if
right?
you got no kids
grandpa.
that got kids.
Now, if you are our age to like not old, you know, it just looks like a porn stash.
Think
Like
so?
it looks like a 90s fucking like just porn stash, like, and not in like a
not
in
a
a good
sexy
way.
way.
Like, like it's not sexy. It's just like
okay,
ugh.
like
Brother,
good for this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like in that movie, there was everyone. Oh, what's the guy? Actually, we're gonna veto this. Cut this part out. I was gonna say in Top Gun, the guy that everyone was thirsting of, but he's dead now. So like, let's respect the dead.
What the
and
fuck?
Not bring that up. Yeah.
No, he's what?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
No way.
If you want to look it up and he's not dead, I'll gladly bring this up. But
hold up. No, he's not, you idiot.
Okay, perfect.
Jesus, hold on. No, no. Miles Teller is alive. Or according to
let me make sure
Google,
we're
there's no
seeing
death
the same
date.
guy.
Glenn Powell didn't die, right? Who the fuck died?
I thought someone died.
Well, Glenn
It might
Powell
have been
didn't.
like a.
In the movie, there's a dude that dies.
No. In real life.
The original Top Gun or the latest one?
The latest one. Top Gun.
Someone might have died. Top Gun Maverick is the name of the movie.
Dash guy. That's actually a thing that's hilarious.
That's
Miles Teller.
No, he's alive, you stupid asshole. What the fuck?
I thought he was dead.
Why the fuck did you think he was dead?
I thought I saw something on, like, I thought I saw it, like, people were all sad. And I thought it was this guy. Oops. Anyways, perfect. He's alive. I'm gonna talk shit. That guy.
I hope you know all of that staying.
I figured.
Yeah.
That guy. Everyone was thirsting over him. They're like, "Ooh, he's so the beach scene." And I'm just like, ugh, no. Or grow more. Like, just, brother. Ugh. You have so much potential. Like, fucking, you know. Anyways, that's what I think. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's controversial.
I think people are going to disagree with you. I think I think it's pretty down the middle with that. Like, there are plenty of people that like it, and I don't think you'll be alone in not caring for it. but I think you'll be dismissed as like you're a child. Like wait till you grow up. Like you know what I mean? It'll be that
Maybe
sort of thing. Because also
it might
Sophia
be.
Sophia likes pretty boys, and she historically has never liked like rugged or like handsome looking motherfuckers. And
I
she's
will
like
admit though,
recently she's been kind of like understanding it, but she's still more of a
I'm
pretty
like, I
boy
get
type.
the appeal. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think mustaches are at all in the pretty boy direction. I think they're
But
much
the
more of
thing
like
is,
a
I've seen people with like full like beards, and I'm like, yeah, you're fine. You know what I mean?
well,
But
that's not
just
what we're talking about.
because I've even seen, because like, let's talk about what's the guy, Superman.
Henry Cavill, the
Yeah,
new one or the old one?
Henry Cavill.
The one mom has the blanket of.
Yes. Our mom has a blanket of Henry Cavill and his
Sophia, you don't have
abs.
to explain it. We already said what it is.
And his abs, and they're all glistening and like a little hairy. She loves it. Him, he's an attractive guy, right? He's fine. There was, I can't remember what, but he had a mustache in one of the things, and I was like, no. And I don't, well, maybe he's not, is he a pretty boy or is he more like a masculine man?
He's kind of in between.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like,
Because like
even him.
my go tos with that is like Timothy Chalamet is pretty as pretty can get. Like as far in that direction as you can get, right?
Uh-huh.
And like Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, is rugged, but then there is space in between that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, my point is, I, on a normal day-to-day, find Henry Cavill attractive. Put a mustache on that man, get him away from me. What is
what
that?
about? Oh, this is perfect. What about Timothy Chalamet with his mustache?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he looks good with it, but
disgusting.
Yeah, I'd agree. Not I don't know about disgusting, but I don't think it's for him. But I think mustaches are in right now, where they're like, it's. I think it's one of those things where like, it's one of those things where like it's in and everybody likes it and it's like having a moment.
I don't.
But I think we might look back at it like, yeah, some of these guys definitely were not rocking this shit. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I've never seen anyone, and I'm like, you're rocking it.
I think there are people that like they have a pretty decent mustache, but even then, to me, it's at best, it's like you're pulling it off, and that's it. You're just pulling it off. Like it could either be bad or just neutral. I don't think it ever like, yeah, you look way better with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about like Mario? Like Mario and Bryn? Mario? Have you seen him without a mustache?
Without a mustache, no.
Yeah, you look him up without one. Well, that guy might look better with one. I don't know. Look him up. His last name is Mirante.
What was his name again?
Mario Mirante.
How the fuck do you spell Mirante?
Mirante.
Oh. Say that again, please.
Mirante. Yo, some of these pictures of him without a mustache, nah, it's not working.
Without mustache. Images?
Let me see. There isn't that many.
He looks so young.
Here, you keep looking that up. I'm gonna go tell my
him.
washer to shut up. Some of those are like AI 90s high school pictures.
Yeah, right? I was like, I'm not crazy. I mean,
mustache or no mustache, if you had to pick.
I mean, he's not my type in general, so I wouldn't have picked him.
If you have to pick,
I would say no mustache.
What?
I don't like mustaches.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
Like, I don't like him, for sure, porn star, you know, with the mustache. That's what it's giving.
Sophia, you know what I can compare it to? In my head, I think the way you see it is like a costume. Like they may as well be wearing like a fake, like paste on your face mustache. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of like, it just doesn't like mold or become part of the whole in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like for me, I'm trying to see if he's ever had a full beard, but I can't figure it out.
I don't think he does. He's a firefighter, so they can't grow out their beards and shit. Which is why a lot of them grow out mustaches.
Sorry that I don't like your mustache.
Anyways, the way I think the way you see it is kind of the way I see like, just like rancher cowboy clothes worn by regular people. Like if you're walking around with boots and a hat and this and that and whatever, like I don't, not that you look ridiculous to me, but I'm just like, I don't know, like, especially if you're not working on a ranch and you don't work on a ranch, it's like you're basically wearing a costume to me in my head. Like that's how like just weird you look. Like it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I think that's
Yeah,
how you see it with like the stash, where it's like why would you just have a porn stash like just cuz in everyday life? You know what I mean? Like,
maybe. I don't know. Maybe I do think that. All I know that I do think is that I don't like mustaches.
all right, how long have we been on mustaches? I think like fucking 15 minutes
I think it's
already.
valid. I think I
Nah,
could go on for like another 10 minutes.
well, let's not.
Just kidding.
Anyways, let me tell you guys something about Sophia.
Oh no.
She
I
is
don't like
pathetic.
mustaches.
She
Oh!
is pathetic. Sophia and I
Why?
often debate things, and I'm you normally right, but sometimes I have to prove to her that I'm right. This isn't a story where you were right, dumbass. Don't smile like that, like you're like ready for this. Anyways,
Nah, I'm pretty sure I still think I'm right on whatever story
no,
this is.
fuck you. We'll debate it, and she won't believe me that I'm right, and I'll make my case. She still doesn't believe me. So then we take it to Instagram, and I put a poll on my story,
If
and
it's what I
people
think it
vote.
is, I still stand by what I
And
said.
people vote, right? So we had a debate the other day where I was like, "Yeah, you're like a crazy cat lady already," and then she was like, "No, I'm not," and I was like, "Yeah, you are." She was like, "You can't be a crazy cat lady with only one cat," and
Yeah.
I was like, "Yes, you can." And she was like, "Go ahead and make your case,
Nuh-uh.
make your argument. Go ahead,
Listen,
keep it
listen,
concise, please, because I still have more of my story to tell."
listen. All right. I think if you have one cat and people are like, she's a crazy cat lady, I think no. I think she's just a crazy lady who happens to have a cat. I think part of what makes a crazy lady, a crazy cat lady, a crazy cat lady is that she's fucking surrounded by a bunch of fucking cats and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I think just having one cat,
It needs to be a mob
it
sort of
needs
thing.
to be, I think it at least fucking two. Okay. And even then, I'm leaning towards three. I think two, there's an argument to be made. One, crazy lady happens to have a cat.
I think
There's my case.
that's a stupid argument. But anyways, this story gets better. That's a stupid argument, dumb argument. My argument is that what makes you a crazy cat lady is not having the cats. What makes you a crazy cat lady is the relationship with the cat, right? If you like adore and worship the cat, and if like you think the cat is your child, and if like it's that level of like attachment and like the nature of the relationship with the cat is unreasonable, which is what makes you a cat lady, right? The
No, but I feel
relationship
like a
with the
lot of
cat.
people are like that with
Hold on.
dogs
The
too, though.
relationship with the cat. No, the relationship with the
Where they
cat
think
makes
they're
you a cat
dogs
lady,
is their
but the
kids.
the unreasonable how unreasonable it is makes you crazy, right? So if yeah,
Either
crazy
way,
cat
I don't.
lady is a saying. Crazy dog lady or crazy dog guy isn't even a thing. Nobody says that.
No! Oh my god, it was right there, Oscar, you fucking idiot. Crazy dog dude.
Crazy dog dude. Nobody says that.
Delusional dog dude.
Delusional dog dude.
Oh, I'm gonna
Anyways,
coin that.
nobody says that. That's not a
I'm
thing.
gonna start saying it.
So, anyways, to me, it's about the nature of the relationship with the cat and your level of attachment to the cat and how unreasonable that relationship is what makes you a crazy cat lady. You know what I mean? And I think cat people are way more likely to reach that level and type of like unreasonable relationship with the pet than dog people. But anyways, so we were debating
I
this,
disagree.
right?
You know how many? No. You know how
Right?
many dogs I've seen in restaurants? A ton. You know how many people I've seen try to take their cat in a restaurant? Absolutely none. And I worked at a restaurant for 3 years.
Delusional dog dude still isn't a saying. Anyways,
Whatever. That's
so
because of sexism.
We were arguing this, right? And I was like, no, you could totally be a crazy cat lady with one cat. If you're like unreasonably, not unreasonably attached to the cat, but if the nature of the relationship with the cat is goofy and fucking stupid, then you're a crazy cat lady. And so then we didn't agree. And I was like, let's put it on Instagram. And I was like,
Nah, but you did me dirty.
can you be a crazy cat lady with only one cat? Yes. No, you have to have at least two. 9 people voted in that poll. 7 of those people voted for yes, agreeing with me. 2 people, more accurately, 2 accounts, voted no for Sophia. 1 account was Sophia on her
What?
profile. 1 vote was Sophia on her profile, her account.
I
The
just said
second
vote.
vote was Sophia logging
No.
in to the podcast Instagram account and then going to my story and clicking no
Oh,
to vote
the
for herself
blasphemy!
again.
How dare you defile my name like that
Pathetic.
without concrete evidence? Could have been you, and you're just blaming it on me.
Here's a screenshot of Sophia's votes. Fucking loser. That shit was hilarious.
That was really funny. I like doing that just because
It's not the first time she's done it though. Like there was another time I texted the group chat and I was like, "Yo, what should I make for dinner tomorrow?" And then all 3 of them, Sophia, my other sister, and my mom made a suggestion. And then I was like, I can't pick. And I was like, I'm just gonna put it on Instagram. And then I put it on Instagram. And then each of them voted for their own suggestion. And then a bunch of people voted for my sisters. And then like
not me, sister,
2
our
people.
other sister.
Well, I would have just said Sophia. A bunch of people voted for my sisters, and then like 1 or 2 people voted for my mom's, and then nobody but Sophia and Sophia on our shared account voted for Sophia's.
You assume I'm the only other person with it. Could have been leaked, our password and login. Someone else could have done it. I don't think it's.
Oh yeah, I forget where that
should just
thing
be
is.
blamed on me. Duh, dummy. Anyways.
Oh, okay. I have another topic. We went to visit Sophia last weekend in Minnesota. And I was there for like 4 days or so. So like there was a lot of hanging out and just chit chatting and watching movies and going here and there. And we went to this Italian restaurant. Just anyways,
it was so fucking good.
Sophia.
Sophia.
Every now and then, Sophia ventures into uncharted territory as far as like our conversation topics go, because we haven't historically discussed certain things. But every now and then, she'll just like throw something out there.
I have no idea where this is going.
You're about to laugh your ass off with this next sentence because you're gonna realize where it's going. We were in the car and we were just talking about whatever, and then Sophia was like, "Oscar, would you date a butterface?"
No.
And it's because like the night before we had gone to like the hardware store, and then we were walking out, and one of the employees walked by, and Sophia, when we got into the car, she was like, Oscar, I bet that chick we walked by when we were leaving, I bet you thought she was fine as fuck, huh? And I was like, no. And I was like, she was pretty, but like usually, I was like, she was pretty, but not like, holy shit, look at that girl. Like, she was really pretty, but like not like. And she was like,
fine.
Yeah, and she was like, but you thought she was pretty? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I knew it. And like, she just like had this sense of accomplishment of knowing who I think is pretty. But and I don't remember where the rest of the conversation went, but my mom said that shit too. She was like, yeah, like I'll see girls that like at the brokerage when she's like at work, she's like, I'll see girls and I'm like, or like newer, younger girls. And she's like, he would like her, or he would think she's pretty. Or every now and then she's like, what about this chick? And I'm like, and she's like, knew it. Anyways, so with that, Sophia was like, would you date a butterface? And I was like, probably not, bro. And she was like, what? And I was like, nah, because like I'm really big on the face. Because like I can that's the wrong word. I was gonna say I'm very tolerant body wise, but tolerant isn't the right word. I'm not the type of guy that only likes one body type and that's it. I like plenty of different body types. But the face, like you have to be pretty. You have to be pretty. And if you're not, then I'm not going to be attracted to you. And this isn't working out. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be pretty for me to be attracted to you. And I have to be attracted to you to date you. Right?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I don't know. Maybe like if she's technically a butterface, like she's not that crazy in the face, but everything else is like, and she's like super, super crazy cool, then like
so
maybe then like over time I might develop an attraction. And then at the time when we were having this conversation, I was like, because I'm one of those fucking assholes that like likes personality more than looks. Like I'll say that I don't just to be an asshole, but then when it really comes down to it, there's been girls that I've been like friends with, and I find myself kind of being attracted to them, and I'm like, she's not good looking. but like she's so cool. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that type of shit. So, anyways, and then Sophia doubles down on the uncharted territory, and she was like, she. I'm trying to remember how you said it or how you
I'm trying to
introduced
remember
it,
how it.
because you
Yeah,
had said
how it was,
one thing and
no,
then
no,
you
no, no.
said another.
Because you said you ended up saying you're like, I don't think I would date to marry, but I would casually date.
I think no. I think like that sounds bad. Anyways,
What I said?
yeah.
Well, that's what you said.
Did I say that?
You did say that.
Well, when I say casually date, I mean like I'll give her a chance. You know what I mean? Like let's see how it goes. But it's not immediately gonna be like, oh my god, you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we'll see, kind of thing. Anyways,
Yeah.
did I say that for real? Anyway,
You did say that. Because that's how I segued into the next part. Because I was like,
okay. Do you remember what you said after that? I remember what you said, but I'm trying to remember how you phrased it and which one you said first. Anyways, Sophia, with our mom there, Sophia was like, you know the main point I'm arriving to, right? Did you initially say it where she brings it up, or did you say it like you asked me if that's what I would do?
No, I said it like she's bringing it up.
That's
like,
the only direction you went, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I, butterface, whatever. And Sophia was like, nah, that shit, like, that would be tricky, because like, what if she asks you like, hey, how come you only ever hit it from the back? And again, this is not the type of conversation I normally have with Sophia. Not the type of conversation I normally have with my mom. And all three of us are in the car, and Sophia's all like, yeah, because she's gonna notice that you only ever, you always turn the lights off, and you always do this, and you always fucking, and I'm like, you're so fucking stupid, dude. This is so funny. Like,
it was so funny.
She's like, because what would you say? Like, imagine she was like,
what would you say?
Babe, how come you always turn the lights off, and like we can never have the light on, and how come you only hit from the back? And she was like, what would you say? What would you do? And then she looks at me like, huh? And I'm like, I don't want to answer this question, Mike. This is fucking stupid.
Anyways, he never asked me, but I'll let you guys know. I wouldn't date a butt his face.
That's what guys are called, butt his face?
I don't know, but that's what I'm calling him.
Well, yeah, because butt her. Butt his face. That's funny. Anyways. No, I knew that. I don't need to ask that.
Like, I don't think I would give him a chance, to be honest. Just
yeah, exactly. I was about to say, Sophia is more hell-bent on face than I am.
Yeah, because the way I see it, if I am not attracted to you, I'm like, then
we got no business. Yeah,
like we got no business. That's not a relationship. That's a friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily, because we say this, but I think attractiveness is very much subjective to like the person, the eye of the beholder or whatever. So just because I don't think you're attractive, because I think you're a butt his face, doesn't mean you are a butt his face. You know what I mean? You just are to me.
Well, that's nice. Anyways,
we'll be great friends though. I'm so funny.
It's such a dickhead thing to say. No, because that's what I was saying. I was like, it depends. Like, if she's kind of if she's a butterface in the sense of like her face isn't her strong suit, but everything else is like, damn, then like I could kind of, but if she's real fucking like, wait, then like, nah, I don't know, that's working out. Because the face is, or for me again, also, or like you said, I have to be attracted to you, and if I'm not, then it's not working. You know what I mean?
Yep. Anyways, that was so funny.
It was so funny. It was so funny because like it's funny because it's the uncharted territory. Like it's not only out of nowhere, but it's uncharted territory in the sense that like Sophia and I don't necessarily have like, hey, was that girl hot conversations, or like, are you more of an ass or a tits kind of guy, or like this or that or whatever the fuck, right? And so then she barely dipped her toe in the lake, right? And was like, would you date a butterface? And then I had like 3 minutes of shit to say, because I always have a lot to say. And then she's just fucking cannonballing that motherfucker. And she's like, what if she asks you why you only hit it from the back? And
the funny thing is, you were answering, right? Because he likes to flesh out his answers, like we just established. And so he was answering. And in my head, like right away, like when he started like answering it, I came up with the idea of this next like.
She was like, I don't even care what he says. I'm gonna say this shit when he's done. Like,
yeah. And I was just like, and for a second, I was like, will the question make him uncomfortable? Probably. Is it funny enough to say it anyways? Yeah.
yes.
And then I said it.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Another thing about that Italian
Another
restaurant.
thing.
About that Italian restaurant we
It was
mentioned.
so good.
Sophia's so fucking annoying, bro.
Yummy.
She, first of all, she tells me a lot of things and expects me to remember all of it, right? That's a problem. The other problem is she's not a reliable source to know things from. So, like, she had mentioned there's an Italian
you're cutting
restaurant.
out a lot, and I don't know what you're saying. Like, well, the connection.
Okay, but my camera and everything can still hear me, so.
Yeah, but if I can't hear you, then we're not talking to each other.
Yeah, but I'm talking. No, I'm just kidding. Sophia's annoying. This is why. She tells me all sorts of shit. She expects me to remember all of it, right? Very hard.
Yeah.
She has a lot to say. Outside of this podcast, we very much switch, right? Anyways, she was like, yeah, you guys are going to come visit, and there's this Italian restaurant, and I want you guys to go. And it was like, okay. And then, like, the day before, I was packing, and I was like, yo, that fucking Italian restaurant we're going to. And she was like, Sortellini's? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, is it nice? Like, how nice of clothes do I have to pack? Like, is it like fancy? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't fucking know? Like, is it fancy or not? Do I take nice clothes or do I take casual clothes? And she was like, well, I don't know. And I was like, was it fancier than like Olive Garden? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, what fucking place are you taking us to, Sophia? Where you don't even fucking know. And she was like, I fucking told you this. And she tried to rip me a new one, right? She was like, I told you, I've never been there, but everybody talks about it, and I've seen it, so I want to go. And you guys are coming, so I want to go with you. But I don't fucking know, because I've never been there. And I was like, oh, you told me that?
Exactly.
And she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to assume it's kind of nice. So I took my nice shirt. That one. That's right there, actually. That one.
It was the shirt, not the place. The place was great.
That one. So then, eventually, we get there, right? And then we're fucking driving around, picking her up from work, going here, going there. We're going to go to the restaurant the next day. And then I was like, yo, Sophia, where's the place that we're going to? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you don't know? And she was like, I don't know where it is. And I was like, you said you've seen it. You said people talk about it. What do you mean you don't know where it is? How the fuck are we supposed to get there? And she was like, I don't know where it is. And I was like, how the fuck is that possible? Right? Because I fucking lose my shit with Sophia.
He does.
And she was like, because she says shit like that. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know that this place exists? But there's a completely
logical
Well, now I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it. She was like, when I ride the shuttle to work, we pass by it. And it's not the direction, like the route that we take isn't the same route that I take when I drive to work. So I know that it's kind of sort of like over there-ish, but I don't know like exactly where. Which she could have said from the fucking beginning instead of saying, I don't know where it is.
Well, I don't know where it is.
Well, you could have been like, it's in that direction.
If you were to put me in a car in the driver's seat and be like, go, you know what I would say? I don't know where it is. I don't even know how to get in that direction because it's not even
apparently
in that.
Doesn't pay attention.
It's not
to
even
shit.
in that direction. I just know what was around it. But that direction, from my place to there, I don't know how to get there.
She doesn't pay attention to shit.
I don't.
And
my brain turns off when I'm on the shuttle.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll fucking look it up to know something, to know anything about this fucking place. And I was like, what's it called? And she was like, I was like, what's it called again? Because I'm not from there. I don't live there, right? I haven't heard about it from my work friends, doctors and shit. And I was like, what's it called? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, what the fuck are we talking about here? And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And she was like, I'm not sure what it's called. And I was like, you told us the fucking name when you said there's this place. It's called this. People talk about it. Let's go. This. You didn't say the word this. You said a name. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you don't know? And she was like, I can't remember how to say it. And she was like, I think it's called something like sortolinis. And then she was saying some other shit. What I'm saying is closer to the actual name of it, but she was saying some other shit. Like she was like, I think it's what is it actually called? Look it up.
Sorolinas. No, I remember Sorolinas.
Okay, she was saying sortolinis. I think was the original thing she was saying. She was like,
there was a D in there. Yeah,
it's called something like sortolinis or something, whatever. And I was like, how the fuck do you not know anything other than this place exists? How the fuck? How the fuck have you never paid attention to where the shuttle goes when it takes you to work? How the fuck do you not know how to read the fucking sign?
It's dark in the morning.
If you know my family's coming, we're gonna go there. How do you not do the slightest, even just one quick Google Maps search of like how far, just to answer the simplest of questions? How far is it? What's it called? How expensive is it? Let's see maybe if I can see what it looks like on the inside to see how fancy it is. You don't have to answer all of these questions. How do you not care to answer any of them? Don't know where it is, don't know fucking how to get there, don't know what it's called. I was fucking losing my shit, right?
Where's your sense of adventure, Oscar? Jeez.
We can't get somewhere with only the knowledge that it exists, Sophia.
Okay, you know what though? With the knowledge I presented, you know what we found? We found the place. So clearly you can. So fuck you.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm right.
You're lucky the phone is smart enough to compensate for you being a fucking moron. Anyways.
And I knew that. So I was right. This is the point.
What is it called? Sorolina's?
Sorolina.
That place is fucking fire. That shit was fire. Delicious. And the food came out really fast. The appetizer came out really quickly. The food did not take long after that. It was really good. The place itself was really nice. They had a really cool little outdoor section and everything.
It was too cold to be there though, to be fair.
That place was cool. But
it was cool.
Just so you got like, and here's the thing. Every now and then I'll see our clips and I'll see like how mean I am to you. And I'm like, man, like maybe I'm too mean to Sophia. Or maybe I call her an idiot too much. Or maybe I this, or maybe I that. Or it's like, or maybe the internet is gonna like pit us against each other if we ever become famous, and they're gonna be like, hey, I know this guy says he's just joking, but he's actually an asshole and you should not associate with him anymore. And I'm like, nah, Sophia's got my back. She's not gonna turn her back on me, right? And I just like get in my head about like, what if I'm a dickhead, right? And I'll conveniently forget all the clips where you're being a fucking bitch to me. You know what I mean? I just watched the clip about you calling me a fat fuck when we were at News.
Dude, I was literally saw that video the other day and I laughed my ass off again. It's so funny.
In these moments, I conveniently forget how much of a dick Sophia is. But then I think about it and I'm like, no, how can you not understand? Like, we're siblings. This is not just a regular friendship. This is not just a regular, co-worker thing. Like, this is my sister. I lived with her for fucking 21 years. Like,
anyways, goodbye. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.